Well, hello folks. We are about to move on to the business part of this app, which is of course create, read, update and delete. One of the things that I want you to be very aware of as we begin on this journey is that we're going to be working asynchronously. In other words, let's say we are fetching a list of books from an API. Well, we don't know how long that process is going to take. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe we'll have a really fast connection and everything will be great and it'll take like a half second. That would be kind of cool. On the other hand, maybe the API will be on a rubbish server or have tons of visitors or something, and maybe it's going to take 3 seconds. Who knows? So the vibe is, we want to be able to show the user something, some kind of meaningful page, while those different API calls are going on. That's what asynchronous is all about. So, to kick this journey off, I want to introduce you to a little vibe where we're going to be mindful of and able to handle page load state. Do me a favor, head to Google and do a search for CodePen Spinner. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's just check this out, right? And what I want you to do is just have a little click around and find something that looks like quite a cool little spinner thing. Now be mindful of copyright statements or whatever. We're not publishing this, but if you do use anything, please remember to be cool. And also pick something that does not use any JavaScript stuff, okay? We want it just to be CSS so that this is quite simple. Okay, so take a few minutes to have a look around. You do not need to copy me. I'm going to speed the video up. Here we go, and I apologise for the heavy breathing that I just noticed as I edited this video. Here we go. Okay, this is probably not too bad for me at least. So this one, I had to type in some different phrases you may have noticed, but I found one here called Windows Loading 06. You do not need to use this, but this is the one I'm going to go with, okay? It looks kind of cool. So as you can see, it's just HTML here and it's some CSS. So hopefully you've managed to find something that looks kind of cool. This is what I'm going to go with. Let's rock and roll. Alright kids, so I'm back in the app here and I'm going to find somewhere where I can have a little page where I can test this thing and have the spinner working and all of that. So what we need is a nice route, or a route if you prefer. And do you remember how that works? Do you remember how we find out where all of the routing stuff happens? Come on, you know the answer. Yes, it's app-routing.module.ts. This is where the action is. So I can create a new one, and well, let me have a think. Well, maybe we can do something with author, and I can see that we have a path called manage. We could make one up for testing, but why bother, you know? Let's just use the manage thing, right? Let's use author-manage. Yes, this author-manage component is where we shall test our fabulous spinner. So here's what we're going to do. Let us head to author/manage. This shall be the arena where we build our awesome page load state thing for testing this, right? And you know where the HTML is, right? You know where this is. It's inside author manage, and then it's the component.html thing. Here it is, right? Now if you look, you'll see it's all jammed up to the left. That ain't too cool. So I'm going to add in a little bit of padding here, just so that it looks kind of nice. There we go, okay? So let's now chuck in a nice little button. It's going to look something like that, and it's going to say change page load state. Okay, let's style this thing so that it looks nice. I'm going to say class equals btn space btn dash primary. This is bootstrap stuff. I'm sure you've seen this kind of thing before. And as you can see, we now have a glorious little blue button that's all ready for action. Now, I'm going to open up our component.ts file, and when this component is initialized, when it is invoked, when it is started up, fired, triggered, whatever suits you, well, it's going to run ng on in it, right? So I'm going to create a variable inside here called loading. This refers to the page load state, and it's going to be initially set to true. Okay, now beware, we are inside ng on in it here. So if we go something like this, I mean, here comes today's deliberate mistake of the day, right? If I save that, then jump in here to the HTML, we'll do another paragraph, and we'll say loading is, and then we'll chuck in loading here. This is not going to work. As you can see, it's empty, and if we do inspect the console vibe, you'll see some red here. So, just to state the obvious, it's this dot loading. If we are inside something like ng on init or a function or something like that. And now, yes, loading is true. Look, we have passed the variable onto the page. This is called interpolation. That's today's fancy new word of the day, folks, okay? We've passed the variable across, and it's all pretty simple. So now, let's build a little function that's going to let us change the page load state when the button is clicked. The way that we do this in the land of Angular is we create a click event, and it goes like this. You do your parenthesis vibe, and inside here, you type in click, okay? That's right, it's as easy as that. Then we just say equals, double quotations, and then let's have a name for this thing. We'll call it change page load state. This is going to be a function, so parenthesis vibes all around. And then I'm just going to copy this. By the way, save the HTML. And then in here, I'm going to say change page load state, some curly brackets, and watch how easy this is. To change the page load or the page loading state, we just say this dot loading. Remember, we're inside a function, that's why we have to say this. This dot loading equals, now we're not going to go if this equals that, then that, else do that. Listen folks, this is not the 1990s. We're going to do this with one line. This dot loading equals the inverse of this dot loading. Hark the herald angels sing. That's how you do it. Just one line, right? So if it comes in on true, it's going to flip it to false. If it comes in false, it's going to flip it to true. Yes, it is as easy as that. I'm going to save that son of a gun. Head over to the page. Come on. Where on earth am I? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Somebody phoned, which is why I'm a bit mixed up. I had to pause there. Right, so check it out. Changing page load state. Here we go. Look, false. True. See, look at that. Yes, it is fantasticola. And here is where the real magic kicks in. Do you remember the nice spinner thing that you picked up? Okay, I'd like you to head back to that. Copy the CSS, and we're going to chuck that inside author-manage.component.css. Paste in the CSS, right? And then we'll grab the HTML, like so. And we'll go to the HTML file and we'll chuck in the HTML. And in fact, let's be very, very cool and proper, and we'll say, do we need to say padding? No, we won't. We'll just paste it in. It's cool. Single quotes, double quotes, who cares? Right, there we go. That's pretty cool. Now, wouldn't it be good if we displayed the loading animation when the page was having a loading state of true? Would that not be kind of cool? I agree. So the way that we do that is we're going to use a little vibe called ngIf. This is something that comes with Angular, and it lets us check variables and display stuff according to those variables, right? So we're going to do this by saying the little star sign asterisk, and then it's N, G, capital I, F, equals double quotations, and that's the vibe. So this is how ngIf works, right? And what we're saying, well, ngIf loading is true. And we do that just by saying ngIf loading. That's all you need. That's all you need, and that is going to do the job. So that's that. Now let's add another one in actually. Shall we do another one? Let's do a div and we'll say ngIf. Oh, I forgot the little star vibe. ngIf equals, now if it's not loading, we'd say not, okay, exclamation mark, loading. And then I'll just say, I don't know, the thing is not loading. There you go. Okay, so save that, right? And if we head on back here, after a few seconds, you can see that our thing is loading. Look, there's the animation. I'm going to change the page load state, and the thing's not loading. Okay, here we go again. Loading. Click it again. Not loading. Yes, you have just taken your first step into an exciting new world, a world of asynchronous API calls and all sorts of cool stuff. Look at it. It's fantastic. This is the kind of thing that will come in very handy later on. Thank you for... Oh, before I go, I had a Stack Overflow thing I wanted to show you. Some of you geniuses may be thinking, well, why do two ngIfs? And by the way, this annoys me. I don't know why. I must have some kind of obsessive compulsive thing, but I need to have them all doubles or all singles. Can't mix them, right? But in any event, some of you geniuses may be wondering, well, ngIf that, do that, and is there not a way we can just do an else, right? I know that you're thinking that. Well, yes, there is. And I looked it up on Stack Overflow, and you can look it up too, and here it is. But I'm going to lay a straight one on you. I don't think the syntax looks that nice. So personally, this is just a personal thing, I'm happy with ngIfs all round. It's just me. But if you want to tune into the else vibes, be my guest, and bless you to the highest. Right, so that's us. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.